Welcome. Hey guys, welcome back to the second hour here of Polaris. We're playing Ben Lehman's awesome game. Although we're playing this story game Redux version. So we stripped it down to just its core essentials and doing that for a one-shot play because this is an extended game and we're doing it just in one sitting. So that's things have to change. Okay, perfect guys. So we are looking at we're going back to Avior's story. Right, so we just had two scenes, one of each of our own stories. We're doing two separate consecutive stories, concurrent, and now we're back on the first one. This is technically scene 3 of the game, so you haven't missed much. Cool, take it away.
All right.
This is the antagonist scene. Luke gets to set the scene here.
And so it was. That Corvus Algarab, the crowned raven, came under stone and under soil through silent secret paths to beneath the campsite where Sadachiba was guiding a caravan out in the wastes. And there, deep in the earth, it sang its song. And through the soil she heard it. And her hope and her dreams for the future were stolen from her and drowned in the black sea of despair.
You better fucking help me out here, Avior. Are you gonna let that happen to your romantic interest? What are you gonna do? Not just it doesn't even have to be what your character says. This could just be fictionally.
Yeah, you should be like, fucking hold on, Luke.
Yeah, like you remember. So you have two things in your arsenal. You can say, "I agree with you," but then raise the stakes. Or well, three things total. I agree with you. That's okay with me. But only if and raise the stakes, so you get something else out of it. Or lastly, you're asking too much, and then he has to say something else.
So, sure. But only if you kill me first. Which might be
Shit! No, hold on. Here's I forgot. I never mentioned that rule. You actually can't die yet. You can't die yet.
So I guess that's probably
mechanically you can't die yet.
Too much situation.
All right. So you're telling him he's asking too much.
Yeah, because I feel like that demand is kind of a lot.
Sure.
All right. Let me try something else. Let me think. Oh yes. And it stole from her the color from her beautiful eyes that first caught your attention. Where once there was the bright blue of the pole star, now there is only and always the deep inky black of a raven's feathers.
Does this make her mistaken? Or
not necessarily.
Okay.
I just wanna hurt him right now. I don't wanna.
Yeah.
This is like
yes,
step 1, Eric.
Yes, if you make your position obvious, if doing this draws attention to you, and you're like where you operate from, then yes.
Yes, but only if you cannot look upon her ever after without feeling and remembering your guilt that you caused the mistake that allowed this to happen to her.
Oh, that I got to. And so it was?
Yep.
I already live with that guilt. I know it's more so, but it's it isn't much of a change. So I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
And so it was.
Does Sadachiba realize this? Is this something that's affecting her?
Yes, I think she is aware. I think she has a dream.
So I think she's on a caravan with people. It's a dream. It's a nightmare. And she wakes up and she sees it in a pool or whatever. Yeah. And she bids her group saying no, I can't help you no more. I trust you with the aid of my friend, and I come up with another name. I got it's a miscellaneous female, so it's under my domain. So I have to come up with a name. Rasalis. And she says, I trust you. I leave you under the good guidance and care of Rasalis, who knows his ways as well as I do, to the Western Kingdom, the Occidental lands. So Rasalas guide. And I think she does that without like looking at the party. Like she like wraps herself up and like she's like adjusting her what do you call a sand protected headgear? Not a scarf.
I'd use scarf normally.
Okay, sure, a headscarf. Yeah, right. She's like wrapping up her headscarf, keeping her eyes out of sight from people as she's doing it. She like turns around to do it. So I leave you in the good care and trust of these people. And she like, and as she's getting ready to get on her, I think it's a camel.
A camel.
Yeah. She throws back a bag.
Camel.
She throws back a bag of currency of coin, the stuff that they paid them, and say that negotiate with Ralis as you see fit, but I cannot in good faith continue this journey with you. It's nothing about you. It's something else. Leaving it vague as she rides back to the kingdom.
Yeah, and I think the last shot we see is that like we see her riding on this like Arctic camel, and then the camera sinks down into like a cut view of the soil down to the tunnels below,
the cross section
of Corvus's like Underhill Kingdom, and we see Corvus following down the tunnels back into the city.
Yes,
and so it was
cool. Good scene. And now we cut back over to the story of Adhill. And that's my turn to set the scene here. Previously, we just mentioned that, so you need to go, you put your, the last ribbon of your last customer in your store. It's been a while, for some advice. What was it that you were looking for?
I want Buddha's shadow.
Yes, you wanted Buddha's shadow. For what purpose?
Yeah, is it too late for me as a moon to
no,
ask
you need to ask that.
You want that?
Yeah.
I want to read Buddha's mind and learn how I can inspire him. Or, well, probably going to learn he's a demon now.
Well, maybe learn how to free him from the demon.
Yeah, that's possible, right? That's totally possible. The ability to cycle people from mistaken to not is technically possible. I would allow that. Yeah, okay. So here's the scene. So, you said Buddhist is out in the wastes, right? That was something you said. Oh, you didn't say where he was, but you said he was a shepherd, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we're on a mountainside. We are. So we set the scene. It is very windy and cold, and like flurries are flying around. But you see a small shack up ahead, and you see like a fire going in it, right? You see like the little light that shines of the shack. You know this is Buddhist's place. But you get the sensation that something is following you. You get the sensation you're not alone out here. The what is he a shepherd of? Goats? I imagine goats. Something like goats. Something Arctic goats.
Well,
Camels.
The camels. These camels. Yeah. The camels are missing. The camels are not to be seen, right? So which lets the hair on the back of your neck stand up. You know that means a predator abounds.
So I assumed I was setting Hadar off alone, so only if I am watching this through Hadar's eyes.
Yeah, and so it was, right? So Hadar is doing this, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Hadar, you know that something else is coming to you. From the skies comes down a great articulate eagle in gold and black,
No, my only
And-
weakness:
and picks-
predatory birds.
and picks up Hadar and carries him off to his nest. You fight to struggle to get free, but its grasp, its talons are too strong, and it carries you away. To make it its prisoner. The eagle says to you, Hadar, it says, the master will see you now. It's impolite to keep him waiting. That's up to the protagonist to save your ass, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously we can talk, but like, this is totally up to Golden to do this, man. I can just run roughshod over things until Golden says no.
Stop. Yeah.
All right, so like that's how this works.
I guess I'd like Hadar just kind of does this. Like,
So it's what makes this interesting and kind of weird is that it's customary for the protagonist to have to be in the scene. Like that's something that you should really try to push for. And so like you can.
He's in my eyes.
Yeah, he's in your eyes, right? He can take control of you. He can take direct control, I guess. Or, I don't know. Like
I was kind of expecting Hadar to do this at the end of my scene instead of he started with us. It was a little bit awkward, but don't worry.
No, this is my turn to go. So like this
your
happens,
this is
and
happening.
and Hadar says, and this eagle says, you probably want to close your eyes for this part, and it kills you.
Oh.
It kills Hadar, and
No, you asked
takes.
too much. You asked
Okay.
too much. You can't kill
It
Hadar.
blinds Hadar.
But only if he sees the master first.
You're asking too much.
But only if
So the eagle
he
says
hears
you know the price.
master's voice.
That's fine. Yeah, so it was.
Okay.
So he says, you're not going to like the price you have to pay. So he doesn't say you're not going to like the look of this or whatever. He says like you know the price you have to pay to see the master, for the master's presence. And so he gouges your eyes out, and then you actually in the darkness you see, or you feel warmth, and you feel a hand. A large, rugged hand with you feel the sensation of fur go over you. A very large hand to your head, like its thumb is the size of your head. It's petting you like a house cat, right? You don't, you can't hear it, but like that's the sensation that you feel, knowing that it could crush you at any moment, and says, such a pretty creature. You have evaded my grasp for so long. What have you been up to? It's been far too long since we've spoke. It says, euphemistically, knowing that we had a kind of a game of cat and mouse going for a while, but I finally caught up to you.
Do you want to talk to him, or do you want me to take over? Corn dogs.
You can take over in a bit.
Okay.
So I finally like speak now, knowing that I'm talking to someone of some authority. And I assume this is Maz. Do I recognize?
This is Maz. Yeah,
that
this is absolutely
This
Maz.
is the voice of Maz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can imagine, if you would, I'm visualizing, like, think of like a gigantic hand of an orangutan is what's petting you right now.
Okay. And I do that thing that cats do, where it's like you try to pet me, and I don't want to like scram away or like bite you or anything. So I just kind of like the more you pet me, the lower I go to the ground, and I'm trying to like get into.
Of course, and Maz is like, shh, it's okay, Maz offers you his protection. And he's like petting you with a single finger, right? Like gently.
I don't need your protection. We do single deals with concrete ends. I don't work with you.
Foolish. You fool. Everything works for me. It's whether you choose to believe it or not.
Golden.
Regardless.
You wanna?
Yeah. And I think that the next time Maz goes to pet the cat, it just suddenly flips on his back and gets a claws in Maz, and suddenly the cat's on top. And then Maz is going to bite the throat of the maker and rip out his.
You mean Hadar?
Wait, Hadar is good.
Oh, I'm on the wrong sheet.
No, you're just reading the wrong thing.
Oh, Hadar is going to bite out the throat of Maz the maker.
You're asking too much.
Okay. So, Hadar,
also, thanks for the host, Henley. What's up?
Henley, nice. So, Hadar is going to scratch Maz's leg and cripple him. And as Maz is yowling in pain, Hadar is going to escape. They can feel the fresh air, and it jumps out the window.
Hold on. So you're going too far. You did this. You offered me the scratch.
Okay.
And now it's my turn, right?
Haven't you gone too far twice this soon already?
No. I'm not saying you're asking too much. It's that I never got a chance to respond to that.
Oh, okay.
So you scratched me, right? Unless is the whole thing you scratch me and you get away. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. But that was in response to you saying it's too much to rip out your throat.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. You scratch me and you get away, but only if Maz has a way of tracking Hadar wherever they go, and Hadar is unaware of it. And as you're leaving, Maz says, "I know you know where the veil is, and it will be mine. It was stolen from me by the elders. I know you are working with the ones who work with them." As you're running away.
But only if Maz can't track Hadar through the mirror world.
But only if Maz is working on another way to enter the mirror world himself.
God damn it.
And so it was.
Done. Cool.
All right. So Hadar returns.
It's still in.
Scene over?
Not quite. Hadar, okay. You run through the darkness. You can't run anymore, and until suddenly there's flecks of snow, and you come back to the world and you can see again. It's just the price. The price to meet Maz requires your sight for the moment, but when you leave, you get it returned.
Ooh.
Or so you think.
Okay.
But yes, you're back to the snowy hillside where we began, and that's scene.
Nice.
Cool. Now we flip back to their story. Cool. So back to Avior, and Sadachiba returning to the city, right?
I mean,
cool.
I
So
think that's up to Avio.
Yeah, this is Avior's turn now.
Yeah. So, Avior, goes into the center of town, with all of its markets and rustling townsfolk, and creates a sort of chaos when unannounced just sort of leaps into the well Um,
Wow.
yeah, and catching himself on the walls, slowly makes his way down and seeks audience with the Oracle.
But only if, as the king foretold and forewarned, you confront the great demon that dwells in the well first.
But only if I am well prepared for this encounter.
And so it was.
What's the Oracle's name, by the way?
Pretty sure, Golden, did you name them?
You also said the Oracle's male, right? I think you said that.
I think that was the demon.
Oh.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure we named the demon. I'm not sure about the Oracle.
Let's name the Oracle Cabdil Inan.
Can you write that in 40 font for me?
Sure.
And then what was the demon's name again?
Arcturus.
Yes. Got that one. Cool. Bear Guard. Shit. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a good name. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so, I mean, Avior still has the scene, but I might just briefly describe Arcturus, if I may.
Please.
So the well, like, it's a well, right? Like, you are now underwater. I think that seems quite obvious to me. And so I think part of being well prepared is that you have a means to breathe down there.
Yes.
Arcturus is a shadow. Arcturus, it's like when a bird flies over the ocean and you see just a shadow in the water. That is Arcturus. That is all that there is to Arcturus. The shadow of a great, ferocious bear. Sometimes it is thin and long, more like a shadow. Sometimes it is great and hulking, more like a bear. It has more legs than it should. It has a mouth that yawns as wide as the mouth of the well when it wishes. And it swallows joy. That's what it feeds on.
Okay. So
Yeah, so that's what's waiting for you down there.
So plummeting into this well of horrors, Avior sinks to the bottom and stands on the bottom as if it were just normal land, right? As if he has some sort of magical thing on him that prevents him from interacting with water the way normal people do. And he makes his way to the Oracle, holding back Arcturus with his starlit sword. Or with the light of his starlit sword, as it's a creature of shadow. So,
but only if Arcturus ate the joy from the Oracle long ago, and the only futures that they see are unhappy ones.
you're asking too much. It's an oracle. I can't.
But only if your sword draws its power from the stars above. And after you have spoken to the Oracle, you will have been down here too long. And the light that protects you will temporarily go out.
And so it was.
And so it was.
Okay. Yep. I mean, I feel like we've already realized it without saying it, but when we say "and so it was," all of those events happen. and now and we continue. Okay, like that's part of the game. Is as soon as you say so, it was all that temporary stuff is buffered, plays, and that's gone. And then we're at the next part. We're at the aftermath, and we keep playing.
Okay, so yeah, Actaurus, is
Bade.
bayed by the light of my Starlit Sword as he's trying to, get at me. And I come to an area of non-water, right? I'm going up this hill to overarching cavern of air. And there's a great door in which I open to see the Oracle's chambers. Within there is a large circular room with a internal how do I describe this? So the room is a large circle, but inside there are 8 pillars in a circular pattern. So it's chamber, then circle of pillars, and then in the middle of that is a large brazier, which the Oracle is looking inside of, just looking at patterns and such. And I approach the Oracle and receive the weakness of Corvus.
But only if. But only if. But only if you hear, as you receive the Oracle's wisdom, if you hear the land singing the song of Corvus Algareb, and you come to know that the land to which you love to listen is its kingdom, under hill and under stone.
I feel like I'm grabbing the rope to hang myself. I don't know how I'm gonna hang myself, but I'll take it. And so it was.
Okay.
And so it was.
So you should probably have a say in this, Luke, because you're playing Corvus.
Yeah.
But yeah, the weakness of Corvus.
I honestly you tell me what you think it is.
Yeah.
And if I think it's too much, I will tell you so.
Exactly.
If I want to add a but only if, I will do that.
Okay.
This is
Exactly. This game is so weird in that amount of power, and that you can just be like, and I cut off Corvus's head with the sword. Like you can just,
it's very
you know what I mean? Like it's
subtle.
it's alien, and just saying it's weird shoes to walk in. You guys are doing great.
It reminds me of the Quiet Year a lot. The fact that Avery is do not fucking talk to each other on each other's turn. You're not allowed to do that. One person talks at a time in a turn. Behave.
So I feel like this is the reason why, I became okay. Let's say in direct terms instead of beating around the bush. The weakness to Corvus is the symbol of the Starlit Knights, right? Much like turning undead, brandishing the symbol makes Corvus cower and vulnerable.
But only if the power of Corvus lives in the heart of every person or its creatures has fed on, and though you might kill Corvus, the mistake will live on and someday will grow and rise again.
Only if, this is going to sound horrible, that doesn't happen in my lifetime.
And so it was.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the weird things about this game is you cannot actually fix the mistake. It's not allowed.
You can always try to temporarily fix it or something, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's never
Yeah.
gonna actually fully
That's
get
what
right.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this is a game about nostalgia and past glory. You can't ever put it back to the way it was.
Yep.
Yep. So, are we Avior? Are we ending the scene with you speaking to the Oracle, and then I'll pick up maybe in the dark, or do you?
Yeah, because I was wondering what we were gonna do with that, right? Because
Yeah.
you had the whole thing with like my sword losing its power. So
Yeah,
if you're willing to pick up where we left off, with your-
I'm totally going
Okay.
to.
yeah, then we can end it.
Yep. Cool.
Okay. Just a word of caution when you're also putting bids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Don't do condition. Try to avoid doing too many conditionals of like, and this happens after this a future thing, because like future conditionals as
tricky.
possible results.
Yeah.
You should do things that occur in the moment now. So like if you're saying, like, if your friend wants to betray you, you know, or whatever, if that's what you're going for. And, you know, if you can't, like, instead of sometime down the line your friend betrays you, make it concrete, being like, your friend's doubting your judgments, or your friend says no more. You know what I mean? Like, do those things. Like, cause immediate consequences, so it makes sense to continue. Okay.
Yep.
We're fine right now. I just want to make sure I reiterate that.
It's a good point.
I never explained that really.
I felt like one of the only ifs was, I'm going to fix the mistake, and I'm saying you can't do that. So,
yeah. Okay, so to our story again. Adhill's story. Adhill, it's your turn to make the scene.
Yeah, so Adhill is going to meet terrible with names. Can you put me back on our page? Oh, it's here. It is. Hadar. Adhill's going to meet Hadar on top of the hill. And
Overlooking Buddha's place?
Yeah, she's waiting for him when he can see again. And we see her. She is wrapped in the veil, and she's using it like a cloak. So we can see like this is starlight like shining out of her, and she kneels down to Hadar.
It's cloudy with the
cloudy.
snows and stuff, right?
All right,
up in these high alpine or rocky mountains.
Sure. I think like the cloak is still like glittering with star light.
Yeah, of course it is. It's powered by the stars, so of course it has that property.
Yeah,
the twinkling of the stars, right? Yeah, totally.
Right. But yeah, like she kneels down to Hadar and like looks him over. And Hadar is huge, right?
Hadar's real big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much larger than a person.
Okay, Hadar. Who was the master? I could not hear through your ears.
Can you repeat that real quick?
Who was the master? Because I could not hear through your ears. And when you were blinded, I was cut off from you.
The master?
I'm asking who Maz is. I don't know who Maz is.
Oh, okay. My bad. The master of those creatures was an old associate that I've dealt with in the past. They go by the name of Maz. They are a creature of unimaginable power, which I like to cut ties with. But it seems that they are persistent in seeking my aid. Of course, I'm rejected, though.
So time out. Do I automatically know the mistaken or not? No, right?
Not necessarily. We can establish that or not. You can say you know them or not. That's your purview.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was
Your
the rules.
protagonist. You could say that.
Yeah. So, but I don't think it's more interesting if Adho does not know that Mas is mistaken. She says,
Okay.
"This must be a powerful creature similar to yourself that has power over all these eagles. They might even now be watching us. I'm afraid we cannot return home until we are sure we are not followed. Did you retrieve Buddha's shadow for me?"
Did I retrieve Buddha's shadow?
No, you did not.
No, you were interrupted.
Yeah, Maz interrupted me in my journey seeking out Buddhists in the wastes.
Well, we will visit Buddhist, and hopefully the mistake has not taken him as well. Perhaps we will find shelter there until it is safe to travel again. And so Buddhist and Hadar walk up the mountain, their eyes scanning the cloudy sky for signs of eagles until they...
You mean Adhil and Adar are walking up the hill?
Yes. What did I say?
You said Buddhist.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Sorry. Yeah, Adhil and Hadar are walking up the hill to Buddhist's little home, or wherever his flock.
Yeah, it's his shack.
And we get up to the top, and Adhil looks around and doesn't see Buddhist with his flock. She knocks on the door of his shack.
No, Buddhist is there. He looks happy. He's a jovial fellow. He's wearing golden and black. He's like wearing wearing a simple like monkish style robe, but with gold and black. Not like a scarf or like a tabard or a what do you call a phylactery kind of thing on
Sure.
wearing on him.
Yeah.
And he has a staff with an eagle on it. And he opens the door and he's like, "Oh, visitors, come in, come. It's freezing out there. You shouldn't be out there alone. It's not safe."
And walks in and says, "Yes, my familiar was attacked by giant eagles. It was a harrowing experience that he narrowly escaped from."
Well, they do call this Eagle Mountain, and it's not for everyone.
Oh.
I've made my peace with those eagles a long time ago.
They do not prey upon your flock?
They take what is necessary.
But not you.
It's far easier to give them what they want than to give them some than to leave them completely hungry.
How much have you given the eagles, Buddhist?
Only what's enough. Dodging the question.
I think Adhil places her hand on his cheek, and I think through demon lore I can feel he's too warm, and therefore is mistaken.
But only if he feels you know that as well. Like he knows that you know.
And so it was.
Okay.
And she says,
yeah, Buddhist doesn't make any remark that he knows. Or he just has the same look to him.
It's too late for you, Buddhist. The mistake has grown in your soul.
I do what's necessary to look after my flock. I'm sure you do what's necessary to look after your kingdom. I don't come to your kingdom telling you how to live your life. It's different here on Eagle Mountain.
I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, Buddhist.
Are you done busting my chops, Knight?
If you wish to see it that way. But know that if you return to the town, I will not accept demons living amongst the town people.
He scoffs. He doesn't say any answer. He doesn't give you an answer.
All right. So
I'm fine.
I'm
afraid no. I'm sorry. Know what he does say? I'm sorry.
What?
He doesn't give you an answer to that. He says, on second thought, I'm afraid I don't have enough food for guests. Forgive me, it's a lean winter.
Of
Denying
course.
you hospitality. Feel free to rest by my hearth, though.
Oh, I will not impose upon you any longer, Buddhist.
Good. You know that he's like really ornery and doesn't want you here anymore.
May the gods have mercy on your soul. And then
What gods?
Adhill
As he
leaves.
mutters to himself. Yeah.
And we go and we look at the flock of goats, and we see that
They're camels, but yeah.
oh, they're camels. My bad. And we see that Buddhist has created like a fence for the camels.
Yeah, a pen, for sure.
Yeah, and she looks and she sees like a bit of Buddhist's clothes, like has ripped off and then attached like with a wire holding the pen together. And Buddhist will take that piece of cloth and descend the mountain.
But only if an eagle, screeches. It doesn't attack you or anything like that. It screeches, right? Like, and it gives you a shiver. Like,
Okay.
something's going on.
Yes, I take the piece of cloth, and we descend a mountain, and we go to. I think there's a shrine at the bottom of the mountain. There's like a river that comes down off the mountain, and we go into the shrine.
Waiting for you at the shrine is Buddhist.
And so it was. And
So you open the door of the shrine and Buddhist is there.
Adhill says, "You cannot be here. Why do you follow me?"
I can't let you return to town when you have the Veil of Inspiration.
You know they.
Please hand it over, he says.
You know I can't do that, Buddhist.
It would be easier for everyone if you handed it over. Not as a threat, as a... I'm trying to alleviate suffering when he says that. No, it's like this... He's trying to say it in a way... Okay, like he's like... Innocents will die if you don't hand this over. Is like his implications to his words when he says that. It's not a threat to you. It's a threat that other people... That he's... Not even him. It's like what he's saying is that he feels...
It genuinely would be easier. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not. He is basically a hostage, and he's like negotiating for the person. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like think of that relationship when he's saying that to you,
yeah.
right? He's like, dude, it would be easier if you do this to like, like think of other people.
It would be easier, Buddhist, but it would not be the right thing.
Will you condemn them to die? He says in a vague way.
You believe that. But they will not die as long as I am protecting them.
You don't know their power. Do it. You don't know their power like I do.
Neither do you know mine.
I may not be welcome back in that town anymore. I may not be welcome anywhere. I know what costs I've paid, but I beg of you, Adhill, turn this over and save the innocents.
So instead of responding, he's
on his knees now.
She picks up a stick with a ball on the end and like hits a set of chimes, and the music it'll crash into Buddhist.
The music crashes into Buddhist?
Yes.
Okay.
And it will freeze him in place forever.
But only if the last thing he says is that there's no gods listening anymore.
And so it was. You can say that.
Sure. And you basically freeze them in place.
Yeah.
I
think
I have a question for you. I know, but can he still cry when he's held in place?
I don't think he can feel or have any emotion.
He's physically crying, so like, can tears still happen? He might be like a straight face like statue, but it's crying. Is what
Sure.
I'm trying to ask.
That's totally fine.
Okay, cool. All right. As you leave, no problem. Cool.
Well, I think actually she's going to stay in the temple because it's a safe place.
Sure.
Uh,
That sounds even better.
Yeah, we should end the scene there.
Excuse me. I'm allergic to good
Bless
scenes.
you.
Just kidding. I would die. Okay.
That'd be very
I
inconvenient.
mean, I would have to. Yeah, I would be very inconvenient. Okay, cool. We go back over. Corn dog. No, it's not. Sorry, it's not corn dog. It's Luke's turn. Right. You don't have to do this, but something that I found is useful is before you begin, just do a quick like recap of what happened before.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So
Not the whole, maybe not the whole thing, just like, so you went to see the Oracle and you talked and you know,
yeah.
blah, blah,
Well, and
then
also like given that we're following right on, I think that's very So where were we? Yeah. Avior went and saw the Oracle and learned that Corvus Algareb is cowed and vulnerable in the presence of the symbol of the Knights of the Starlit Order, but also that his shadow lives in every mortal heart he has touched and will someday, long hence, grow and rise again, even if he is slain. And I think Avior is walking back back out through the water and the darkness of the well, and then the light of his starlit sword goes out.
Does it go out with a flicker, like like a flashlight goes low battery, like it does that, like, or
I think it's
or
like,
what,
I think it's like
or
a
is it just
slow-
is it just a snuff?
I think it's like
Right.
a slow fade.
Okay.
And I think it's gradual enough that it's only like when he's halfway through, and he can't see the walls anymore, and all he can see is just like a darkness around a tiny pool of light.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
whoof, the sword like fades. And then he hears two things: a deep bass growl that vibrates through the earth and through his bones, and the voice of Sadachiba, who, having returned to the city and heard that her lover had dived like a mad fool into a haunted well, came down to aid him.
Would it be fair to say that his starlit swords crossed off then, for now, or no?
For now, at least.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Until he sees the light of the stars above.
Yeah. It's like disabled. Okay, it's disabled. Okay, I just want to mark that on the sheet so we can see
Yeah.
it.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So down there in the dark, and Eric, like, what is Sadachiba saying as she's searching through the darkness for her?
Crying out for Avior.
Yeah.
So that could happen. If this is an illusion meant to break Avior. It can't be the real person.
But only if it is an illusion so detailed it is her very shadow, and it is exactly as she is at this moment.
God, that gave me like chills. I forgot. What am I supposed to say? And so it was.
So it was. Yeah.
I forgot because that was like too. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's good.
So, yeah. So you're alone down there in the darkness, and you can hear Sadachiba crying out for you to find you, and you can feel. I think even more than hear, you can just feel vibrating somewhere deep in your bones. This deep bass rumble, like the anger of the earth itself. And then you hear Sadachiba scream. And you hear the wet, pulpish, crunching sound of of flesh and bone tearing and breaking before great force. And I think you run in the direction that you heard the sound to find Sadachiba, to protect her. And I think you run into the maw of Arcturus. And it closes its mouth and swallows you whole.
God, I kind of want that to happen.
You can ask for something.
Okay.
Yeah, you can be like, but only if I can then fight it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but only if I can breathe,
Yeah.
or if I find my companion in there to fight by my side.
But only if my lore of demons gives me something to get me out of. You know, like, you just do whatever you
Yeah,
want. Like, right?
Make up some shit. Make up some shit.
Yeah, believe. You could do it.
But only if the tunnel collapses on the beast.
Clap your hands if you believe in fairies.
Yeah. You gotta bring it, man. You gotta bring it.
I'm trying. So that can happen so long as it doesn't kill me. And I am somewhere that isn't inside of a creature. This going into the mall like brings me somewhere else.
Oh.
But where is that?
I'm leaving that I'm leaving that intentionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we like doing the mirror world thing?
I don't know.
Or something else? Are you like now on the surface of the sun? That'd be epic.
Yeah, you're in the mistake. Ha no. And so it was. Arcturus swallows you. And you find yourself at the mouth of the well, emerging from the mouth of the well back into the starlight. And your sword, still held in your hand, flares back into its beautiful boreal light. And I think the northern lights are playing in the sky overhead. And I think as your sword flares back into life, you see the real Sadachiba, who like spots you and runs over and helps you out of the well. And in that flare of light, you see that her eyes have been stained black by Corvus. And I think it steals the joy from your reunion. Arcturus did eat your joy after all.
Yes. And so it was. That's awesome.
Fucking nice.
Like, he eats joy, so of course that's what happens.
Yeah, right? Like none of there ain't gonna be no physical fucking damage coming from my side of the table. It's all gonna be weird conceptual shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Until it's not, right?
That's, once again, yeah, you see, what's funny is that I never even mentioned that, and you guys instinctively kind of realized that saying you hurt the protagonist doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, so what? I cut you, right? That doesn't mean anything. Like, okay, well, I cut your head off. You know?
I make you want to die.
Yeah,
That
like
does
this.
something.
This is the game of like, how do I make you suffer? You know, it's like, you know, once you break the spirit, then you can break the body, kind of thing, right? Like, you gotta figure what that is. It's like playing a fictional torturer. It's like,
shit!
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of what you are when you play the antagonist. It's fun.
I just had the best idea. But I will save it for later. And so I think that's where we leave the scene.
Yeah,
the northern lights playing beautifully overhead. What should be
your Starlit Sword turns
reunion.
on.
Yeah, the Starlit Sword flares back into life, and we see Sadachiba's eyes, and we just see whoever the actor is who's playing Avior. It's one of those like really subtle like micro expression things that like Mads Mikkelsen and Ricky Whittle like do so well, where we just see like all of the facial posture of joy and smile and reunion is still there, but it's just hollow, and we hear some kind of like sad mourning, sorrowful chord, and that's scene.
Sure. And yep. Oh man. Oh, that's good. That's really good. That's super, super good. Okay, we jump back over. It's my turn now. I'm the antagonist. So previously on...
We do a break, Eric.
Oh shit, you're absolutely right. See, I got so excited. I was like, "Oh, let's go. Let's fucking go." I can't believe it's time for a break already. Like,
let's do it.
That's the crazy thing about this game is like you can start. I don't know. I literally felt like we returned from a break. I can't believe an hour's already gone by.
We'll die if we don't stop.
Yeah. So,
Eric
all right, guys.
is fueled by despair.
Hey, James, thanks for the host, man. Welcome. We're getting ready to go to a break. We'll be back with more Polaris, the story game, role-playing game about tragedies in the Northern Kingdoms. We'll see you guys in about 5 minutes.